Is that when you come through, there are tests being done, and science is now getting on board with it because they're starting to look into, for myself or my genre of work, African or people of color maternal mortality. We are dying at exponential rates, and we were talking about it last episode a bit much, that it doesn't matter whether you're rich or whether you're poor or whether you have a doctorate or whether you're not educated at all. We are all dying at exponentially higher rates than other mothers, and the reason being what science has deemed it as weathering. So I believe males are probably enduring weathering too, but they cannot put a cause on it because Beyonce almost died. She's a billionaire. She almost died in childbirth. So Serena Williams almost died in childbirth. She had to advocate on her behalf because she had that pulmonary embolism. Yeah. And she was dying. She said, "No, something's wrong with me." So this is another rich woman, educated woman,
billionaire, who also had a pulmonary embolism before. That's the only thing that saved her life.
To her. So what science has deemed it as is weathering, that we just endure just being alive, racism and struggle and stress. That's why people think because we sold our food up and we put some salt and pepper and whatever in it, that's what's causing high blood pressure. Weathering also, the stress from being black is very real.
It's called post-traumatic
disorder. Where you have to be, hello, how are you? Or not show your anger or not speak. Even in advocacy, because I am a professional advocate, even in advocacy, going into these hospitals and demanding fair treatment for all women, not just black women or white women, all women, I cannot articulate myself in a certain way because that becomes aggressive. But there are white women who do my same work who go up in there and act a damn fool.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, that's fine. So I have to, please, could you please give her some, you said she was on Clears. Could you please give her some Jell-O? No, actually apple juice is on Clears as well. Chicken broth is, see, here, it's clear as well. You can use chicken broth. No, she can't have chicken broth. But then you have a white woman come up here and say, no, this is what we're going to give her. It says here, here, and here that she can have Clears, and this is Clears. We're like, oh, yes, ma'am, it's fine. Even the way we have to articulate ourselves, so much so that we don't seem aggressive. And I'm pretty sure you guys are being aggressive as soon as you walk through the door. You don't like your food as soon as you walk through the door. You are aggressive. What? You don't like your potatoes? Well, this is how it's prepared, or whatever. It's already something, and so we deal with the weathering, much like a rock that flows through water, has water flowing through it. It breaks down over time, and that's what's happening to us as a culture. We're faced with this big weight on our shoulders. We don't.
It's Alicia. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Salon Talk DMV, and also subscribe to our YouTube page, Salon Talk DMV, so you can see all the full episodes and the shenanigans.
You don't get white trash and white, because white people get that.
Yeah.
They get you got the classism. White people get to be broken down, and I am pro-black and I'm not anti-anybody. But what I'm saying is that you have the classism of being Caucasian. You get the privilege of that. As a black woman or male or whatever, you are just black. So if you're robbing banks and busting people over the head, you're black. If you are educated and you are, whoever,
you're still a nigga in the food.
You're not like black trash.
You cross over your Uncle Tom by your people.
Right.
So you have that to deal with, your Uncle Tom by your people. And then the moment you educate yourself just enough to fit in, you an educated black man. But the moment you tip over that scale, you
a coon or you a Uncle Tom.
A stepping foot.
To kind of piggyback off what he was saying as we were talking about the Jewish community and the things that they do have, and we were saying that we don't have that. Part of the reason that we don't have that is because we kind of choose not to have that, and then we've been taught really to hate ourselves. So if you look at everything and each other and stuff. So like as you look at the things that we do just in our everyday, it's like we can have our own schools. We can buy our own land. We can start our own thing. But that starts with first saying, I'm going to put intention behind supporting my community.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times and stuff, that even as you bring that up, you may hear people say, like, well, I did try to support this black business or X, Y, and Z, but I didn't like the service. But there's 1,000 of different other cultures whose service we didn't like and stuff and all that, but yet we went back. So it's like,
and we didn't link it to their ethnicity.
Yeah, and we didn't link it to their ethnicity.
Okay, so I am one of those people that all across the board, bad service is bad service.
I would not go back.
I am not going back to a fancy, a 5-star restaurant that had bad service. I'm not going back to a carry-out with Asian people that had bad service. And I'm not going back to my brother's store. Okay? Because for me, it's balance. I'm balancing all that shit out. Bad service is bad service all the way across the board. Now, I do agree with you that there are people who judge black establishments more harshly than they give other people more of a chance. Well, maybe it was just today. But I can say for myself, it's all across the board. I just don't like that service. And I'm in the service industry.
You're unique in that. You're unique in that.
My bad, and just to shout out, but the power that we will have whenever we really start to support our community, meaning like when we have our own schools, that means that we can truly teach our kids our history.
Our shit.
Like not about like Martin Luther King and slavery and all that stuff after, to where we can really teach them about Imhotep, the Mansa Musas and stuff and all that. Queen Nefertiti. And what happens is once they learn about these people, there's something that's called image association. And with image association, we associate ourselves with the closest thing that. So if I take a picture of this room and you look at the picture, the first thing that you're gonna look for is yourself, because that's the closest thing that resembles to you. But if you're not in that picture, the closest thing you're gonna look for is something that resembles you the most, whether it be a black person, a female, or whatever. So what happens is whenever we went to school, the first thing that they started telling us about was the Martin Luther Kings. What happened to him? He got assassinated. But they don't teach us about Mansa Musa. Because matter of fact, you really learn about Imhotep, you understand that science and mathematics started from Africa.
Exactly.
So then we have a higher pride for our people. And when we're able to have our own schools and we can learn about stuff, when we have our own doctors, we have our own grocery store, then we won't have to say and all that, like, well, somebody won't hire me, or they're feeding me the bad stuff, because now we have our own community to where we're actually replenishing off of each other. In the Jewish community, other communities where they had that, their money is circulating within their community, and we have to really learn how to put intention.
Our dollar stays in our community for mere hours.
Hours.
Like that's an issue.
That's
It
crazy.
doesn't even circulate, because in order to circulate, you have to have 360 degrees. But it's not even a circle.
It's like 2 to 4 degrees.
But the reason why it doesn't circulate is because we're always looking for a discount. So
Thank you.
we do have African schools.
Thank you.
There are African schools, but you don't hear too much about it because they don't promote it and they don't put money into it.
Right.
The way they may put money towards a Catholic school or whatever, no shade towards that, what have you, but we just don't put money towards that. You could have somebody that may open up a sneaker store, maybe your boy, and the first thing you going in there and saying, yo, what's up? Can I get a 20% discount or something? And not thinking that's taken away from what he needs to do to build.
He's trying to build.
Yeah.
Right? You don't give discounts when you're building. And that's why, we can't discount the knowledge that we give to our children. Like we have to, just connecting the exchange that these two were having earlier about the earlier stages of development and what, and that's the period where you're pouring into kids and what do we do after that period, right? And it's kind of like whenever I interact with children in a mentoring setting or a teaching setting, as my role as a community coordinator, I try to talk to them and I make sure that the first thing when I interact with a kid that I say to them upon meeting them or upon parting from them in that first meeting is that our people created civilization. Again, that's an idea that will cause them to ponder, think, and then research, right? Our people created math, science, art, literature, civilization. The idea that we are counter that versus the example of that is absurd.
Hey everybody, it's Melissa from 8th House Wisdom. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook and IG at Salon Talk DMV and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Salon Talk DMV.